Well, why would you tell your enemy what you're getting ready to do to them? That is the biggest question that I have here now, with reports coming out all over the place that the CIA is working on this clandestine cyber attack against Russia, and that they are to pitch these ideas to the White House. Now, Russia is stating that this is unprecedented, what they're doing and what they're saying here. And Joe Biden recently said that we're sending a message to Russian President Vladimir Putin, and it will be at the time of our choosing and under the circumstances that have the greatest impact. This is something people should think about, as they're saying the CIA is involved here for this cyber attack. Now, what's interesting is when you look into this, one of these articles state here, yes, even it's from WikiLeaks. It states, if the U.S. clandestine pending cyber war on Russia was serious, it, one, would not have been announced, which is the biggest red flag that I'm seeing, and we'll talk why it's being announced here in a second. And number two, it would be the NSA doing it, not the CIA. So others are saying there's nothing that you could do to Russia at this point to where they could not respond. There's no way they can embarrass Vladimir Putin. They couldn't hit their economic cycle or do anything of that nature to where they could not respond. Matter of fact, one of the top guys here says that if you did something to Russia, more than likely they could respond in a number of different ways. So these are things you have to pay attention to. Are they, what happens if they launch a cyber attack? And then Biden's asked, would the American public know if you did it? And he said, I hope not. I hope not. So what are they going to do with the cyber attack here? Try to cripple their economy, their banking, anything? If they did that, then you could expect that Russia would retaliate with the exact same thing, if not worse. Things to think about. So why would they announce to the public that they're going to launch a cyber attack on Russia? I think it's a forewarning to all of you that it's probably going to be what is done in response. And I tell you what, if they're announcing this, that it's going to be done down the road, and they're trying to play like this is serious, and if this was taken serious by Russia, that all this stuff could happen and go down, don't you think that they would strike first? But see, this is the world stage. And if any of this was to go down, in my opinion, it is all part of the script that is being played out. They know exactly the direction that this is going right here around election time. They're trying to blame Russia for all these hacks. Now, whether all that's the case or not is yet to be seen. But one thing's for sure, a lot of the information is coming from different groups. In WikiLeaks themselves, you would have to state then that Russia is running that then, and Assange. But they're not saying that, or are they? I mean, at this point, it's everything being blamed on Russia. Yet, I haven't seen any evidence. They have not brought forth any solid proof that Russia's been behind it. Where's the evidence? This is tantamount to getting ready to go to war without having any proof or any means to show the people. And not saying that Russia hasn't done hacking, because you know that they have. It's a constant thing that's going on 24/7 around the globe. All these different countries trying to penetrate each other constantly. But why now? Why all of a sudden this? And there's been no show of proof. Everything that's being dumped now, even the Podesto stuff. We had a recent 4chan hack. But Assange and WikiLeaks are stating a lot of this information. So if it was Russia, then it would have to be that Russia and Assange were working together, but yet they've never made that statement, not once. So this is my thing, guys. Look, we just had Obama drop one of the craziest executive orders out of nowhere that I've ever seen. It's dealing with disturbances to our magnetosphere and to our planet from either the sun, solar flares, anything like that. But he demands that they make these devices within 6 months to test out the effects, he says mimic the effects. That's an EMP. To take down the infrastructure, that they must have a plan in place on all of this. And it all reports back to the Secretary of Homeland Security and Counterterrorism. That makes no sense. If it's a solar flare, why is counterterrorism involved? And this was all put out there quietly by Obama here recently. Then there's the announcement of this unequaled energy weapon that Russia has to scramble the brains of anything out there in the battlefield, any bombs, any weapons. And this is my thinking. They're trying to embarrass them or whatever. Look, what happens if they do? I mean, there's only a couple different ways you're going to go about this. You're going to attack the electronics of something. That's a guarantee. But what's it going to be of? Is it going to be your banking system? Or because if they do that, hit their economy or anything like that, that's war. Or are they going to mess with the light somewhere? Shut them off? Is it just going to be some hacking of personal information from Putin and then released to embarrass them? Would it be around that level? Okay, that's another possible option. Or could they hack satellites, military weapons? And could they hack a weapon that they just launched and make it explode right there on top of them? Detonate it, actually. To where it looked like their goof. They just bombed themselves. Massively. Try to launch one. Southwestern Russia, between Moscow and Ukraine, down to Crimea. That's the exact area of that mushroom cloud on that Chinese rover pick. And if it was all to be played out, that's the theme I've gotten out of all these headlines here the past couple days when picking through it, is just that. The warning of our infrastructure dropping, being hit. Now, talks of openly cyber attacking Russia, which is crazy. And like they said, they're calling it unprecedented. Russia readying for war, shifting 40 million people back and forth in these drills, making moves, sending missile systems into places. And really, it looks like they're preparing for war. While here, it almost seems like, oh, it's nothing. My thing is this, guys. This doesn't sit well with me out of all these things, whatsoever. How do you come out and announce this? Then, the way they take it already, it's unprecedented. You're basically announcing to them that you're about to attack them, a cyber attack, here at any time. What would they say? If they felt that we were getting ready to get nuked, they would nuke. They would hit the target. They would hit something else. They would say we had to do it before we got nuked to eliminate it. What if another country has that same thinking at this point? What if they back them into that corner to where they feel they don't have a choice? And what if the next move is that? A massive cyber attack here on everything? It's definitely a very real possibility. And the more I see all these things coming together, like that executive order, a lights out scenario, and everything else, right here around election time, the atmosphere is primed for something. Still, you have to ask the question, why would you announce to the world something like this? Let's just hope it doesn't spark some preemptive action, or that they're setting the stage for an excuse that someone else did something. Either way, this is something to pay attention to here. I'm serious. I'm warning all of you. When they put out an announcement like this that just doesn't make any sense with the agencies, and if you were really going to do it, you wouldn't announce it anyway, and what they're doing, it almost seems like it's geared toward a psyop on the people here, which a lot of it is, with propaganda. But they're planting the seed here of a major cyber attack. Okay, and they threw it out there. So if it happens here, they're going to blame Russia. They said they struck us first. Because some dumb comments were made out here in the open, backing them into a corner, making them think that something was about to go down. Either way, it's a play on the minds of the people. I can't stress that enough. The world is a stage. They controlled the avenues of all these wars throughout history, and how everything is played out. You'd be a fool to think that they don't have a plan for what's about to go down. I will leave links. Also, make sure to check out our recent sponsor here. Like I said, I'll continue to update. And as I always say, have a plan. If you plan for a lights out situation and you can survive that, odds are you can survive most of the things they're going to try to throw your way. We talked about that on Underground World News Live, and I'll continue to do so. Till next time, it's been Dabu7.